Joined with head wrestling coach Jim Gruenwald in anticipation of his team's upcoming wrestling season. Coach, first of all, your team comes off a fairly successful year last year. You guys make some strides in the program. What were your thoughts on last season?
Well, I think any coach looks at his roster and sees what could be. I thought we could be 10-3 last season, and we ended up 6-7. So I don't know how successful we were. I mean, we had a couple of weight class vacancies, and we also had a couple issues with injuries, and there's always the inevitable skin disease that's so much a part of a wrestler's life now. But last season was good, but it could have been better, and I think not even unrealistically better. I think we really should have been 10-3 last year. So I'm still looking to put together a winning season.
What are you mentioned the winning season. Is that one of your goals or for this season now that you kind of turn the page and look forward to this calendar year?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately my goal is just to crush everybody, so I guess that equates to a winning season. I mean, I'm here to serve God just like every other coach is, and that's the standard I set for myself and for the team. And I think if I do that correctly, then the team, we will start getting better. We will have a winning season. That is one of my goals underneath the umbrella of ultimately why my ultimate purpose here. But yeah, I want a winning season. I think we can be undefeated this year. Realistically, the only people who would be able to stop us are Elmhurst and Dubuque. We should be able to, but woulda, shoulda, coulda, we'll see what happens. Proof's in the pudding, we'll find out by the end. But we are getting better every year, yes. From when you started to where you are now, you've got a lot more guys on the roster, a lot more guys in the wrestling room. What has that done for the environment and the mentality of your team? Yeah, well, when I first got here, there were 7 guys on the team, and I think my best returning wrestler was 21-21 or something close to that. So we started off with a lean roster, forfeiting a lot of weights, especially if somebody got hurt. Now we do have a lot of guys on the team. We're up in the lower to mid-20s. We'll be close to 30 next year. That makes for better practice partners. That makes for more competition in the room, which makes for a better team in competition. When people have to fight for their spot, there's always that higher level of accountability. And when you have freshmen and sophomore, as in this year, who are coming in and obviously respecting the juniors and seniors, but not being afraid of them and challenging them every day, the room has taken off. So it's really exciting to watch as everybody has to get better or they're going to end up losing their spot.
Who are some of these impact freshmen that you have coming in for this season?
I think the 3 biggest would be Steven Aiello. He's a 4-time Virginia State Place winner, and he took 2nd last year in the state tournament. You could also look at Taylor Gone. He's a 2-time state place winner for the state of Michigan, and he took 2nd as well his senior year. He's also filling a heavyweight spot with, so he's going to be an impact wrestler for us right away, just the fact that we're going to have a legitimate heavyweight this year. Another kid from Michigan, Jared Fekete. He's going to be a dark horse, unknown by a lot of people just because his high school results weren't outstanding, but that's partly due to a knee injury that he suffered in football. And then also I think another guy who's really pushing is Logan Walkup. He's took 2nd state in Iowa last year, obviously a great wrestling state, which most of the Midwestern states are. He's going to be challenging Luke Sims, who's our starter. Now as far as current impact wrestlers, obviously you have Mark Savinock, who I believe is a D1 wrestler wrestling at a D3 school, should be a national champ. No pressure on him. It's just what he's capable of doing. I see it. His teammates see it. Everybody who's ever watched him wrestle see it. He's just got to put together the right season. Matt McCrary could have a breakout year, be a national qualifier All-American. You also have individuals like Mitch Steed, who's a D1 transfer, could be a solid guy at 197. I think he's as good, if not better, than Darren Faber, who was a 2-time national qualifier for us. And then Dan Olson is our returning All-American. He's starting his junior year. He's gotten better over the summer, and I think a lot of people were unexpected by his performance last year, and some people will even downplay it and say it was a fluke. So he still has, I think, a little something to prove as well, but he's coming off the confidence of being an All-American.
What is Dan's international experience over the summer going to do for him this year, moving up as an upperclassman and with the expectations of a returning All-American?
Dan's international experience, anytime that you get to wrestle at an elite level, that kind of puts things in perspective. It adds a certain amount of... when he was wrestling D3, it was all about D3, but you put yourself at a world level, and then all of a sudden you start looking at D3 as, D3 is not as difficult as I made it out to be when I was there. And that's why you've always got to challenge your athletes. That's why I like to take athletes to the Midlands tournament. That's why I like my athletes wrestling D2 guys. And then of course he has the confidence not only being just a D3 All-American, but he has the confidence of being a university Greco-Roman All-American as well, where there are no divisions. You just have one division, so you're going to get US OEC guys there, you're going to get D1 guys, D2 guys, D3, JUCO, and he's got to battle all of them. Well, he took second there last year, which again, that's going to give him a lot of confidence coming into this year, and I think to a certain degree alleviate some of the pressure, because he knows what my philosophy is. I'm not going to put any pressure on. He knows what he needs to do. He's a hammer. Just go out there and keep being a hammer.
When you look at your team, what do you see from the leadership of this team?
We have great leadership. I'll tell you what, and it's neat because it's not always the best wrestlers that make the best leaders. Now, the two can coincide, but one of our leaders, Logan Meyer, he has yet to start for us, and yet he is rock solid. He's the type of young man that if my daughters were a little bit older, there would be some serious discussions about an arranged marriage. But unfortunately, he's too old and he's already dating someone, possibly getting married. So bummer for my daughters, but that's the kind of young men that I want to be captains of our team. You got other guys like Matt McCrary, team captain, and he's a great story. When you look at, he wasn't even an Illinois State qualifier. He was 3-13 as a freshman. Last year he was 36-15, so made huge strides. Solid young man. Came into the program, where I'm kind of looking a little bit with a jaundiced eye at him, and yet he's finishing as a rock-solid kid. Love it. And he does it on and off the mat. 4.0 student. You couldn't ask for a nicer guy and a more dedicated, disciplined individual to be one of your team captains. Then you've got Luke Sims, who's returning as a team captain as well. He's an individual who also has a high rank within the ROTC. He's an individual that has proven himself to be of leadership quality. None of the guys are perfect. They've all made their mistakes, but in general, they're going to provide the team what they need as far as looking at the coaching staff and modeling correct behavior, modeling that Christ-like leadership qualities that you're looking for in young men, and then eventually your graduates.